So, you're here because you don't just want to know about generative AI. You want to master it. And in this explainer, we're going to build the single most important mental model you need to go from getting confusing results to really commanding this technology like a pro. Let's dive right in.
We've all been there, right? You ask for something that seems simple, and the AI spits back a ridiculously confusing answer, some overly complex code, or an image that just looks off. It's super common, but here's the thing. It's not really the AI's fault. It's a sign that we're just speaking the wrong language. And that's exactly what we're going to fix, starting right now.
So, how do we get those better results? Well, it all starts with one huge, fundamental shift in how we think about this tool. We've got to move past our old ideas of what AI is supposed to do and really embrace what this new generation of AI is all about: creation.
Okay, so check this out. This really gets to the core of it. Most of the AI we've used in the past has been what you'd call discriminative. Think of it like a bird watcher. It analyzes, it classifies, and it predicts based on stuff that already exists. It tells you, yep, that's a cat, or nope, not a dog. But generative AI, it's a completely different animal. It creates. It doesn't just identify the bird, it paints a brand new picture of a bird, right from scratch.
And this right here, this is the aha moment. You are not working with some kind of super-powered search engine that just finds things. You are collaborating with a tool that makes things. Honestly, if you take only one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Getting this idea deep in your bones is the absolute key to getting the results you actually want.
Okay, so if we're going to start thinking like a director, what are the actual tools we're working with here? I mean, there are a ton of them out there, but let's just focus on the two main workhorses you'll be collaborating with most of the time.
On one side, you've got your large language models, your LLMs. You know them: ChatGPT, Claude. These are the wordsmiths. They're built to generate text, code, ideas, the whole shebang. Then on the other side, you've got diffusion models like Midjourney or DALL-E. These are your visual artists designed to create absolutely stunning images from just your descriptions. Knowing which tool to call for the job, that's half the battle right there.
All right, theory's great and all, but let's see what this looks like when the rubber meets the road. We're going to look at two real-world examples that show exactly how a simple, vague prompt leads directly to frustration and how just a little bit of finesse can change literally everything.
So, get this. Here's our first case study. A programmer just needed a simple Python script to count some keywords in a bunch of text files. The request seems perfectly clear, doesn't it? It's simple, it's direct, it explains the goal, but the result was anything but simple.
And this quote it captures the outcome perfectly. The AI came back with code that, yeah, it technically worked, but it was just this baroque, confusing, overly complex mess. It used obscure libraries, brittle logic. It was a nightmare. The problem wasn't the AI's ability, it was the prompt's complete lack of direction. Vagueness always breeds complexity.
And here's the fix. Just look at the difference. The second prompt acts like a director. It's specific. It says use these exact tools, lay out the functionality step by step, and, this is crucial, it even adds constraints on what not to do. And the result? Clean, efficient, perfect code. The garden shed got built because the blueprints were precise.
Now, let's see the exact same problem, just on a different canvas. So this user wanted a nice painterly image of a red fox. The prompt seems fine, right? It describes the subject, the setting, the style. But oil painting style is super vague, and the results were kind of generic, distorted, and sometimes just plain weird.
The solution was to iterate, just adding these layers of detail. First, instead of oil painting, specifying an artist like John Singer Sargent immediately anchored the entire aesthetic. Then, adding descriptive details like intelligent eyes and sun-dappled forest painted a much clearer picture. Quality boosters helped with focus, and, this is the kicker, negative prompts told the AI what to avoid, things like blurry, bad anatomy, or cartoonish. So, what have we learned from our coder and our artist? Well, their stories aren't just stories. They give us a really clear 4-step action plan that you can start using right now to get dramatically better results from pretty much any generative AI out there.
First up, be the director. Don't just suggest. Give clear instructions, constraints, and context. Second, you've got to paint a detailed picture. Use vivid, descriptive language, because the more detail you give the AI, the better it can build your vision. Third, you have to sculpt away the errors. This means using those negative prompts to tell the AI what you don't want. And finally, and this is so important, you have to iterate towards success. Your first try is almost never perfect. See every output as just feedback to make your next prompt even better.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground, from that fundamental mindset shift all the way to a practical action plan. So let's bring it all home with the core principles that are going to guide you as you start experimenting and creating on your own.
Here are your key takeaways. Just remember, this AI creates, it doesn't find. Your greatest tools, your superpowers, are clarity and specificity. Iteration is not failure, it's just part of the process of refinement. And maybe most importantly, you are the director, you're the artist, the visionary. The AI is your incredibly powerful but obedient collaborator.
So, you've got the foundation now to move from frustration to finesse. The next step, which we're going to cover in our next explainer on core prompt engineering, is putting all this into practice. But for now, the question is all yours to answer. You have the first principles, what will you create?